Hey guys, now that you know how to do a stem and leaf plot and you are able to answer some questions using that data, we're going to bump it up today. Today is where we put in the rigor. So I want you to watch this video, and then after you finish watching my video, I need you to watch the other video that Miss Gorgoni is creating for you guys so that you can see two different teachers teaching the same skill. Okay? All right, so this page here is called the Book Nook, and we have 3 questions. We're going to answer these 3 questions using this one stem and leaf plot. And the stem and leaf plot here lists the weights of some boxes that were delivered to the Book Nook. So our title is Box Weights. This is our title. Our stem, which is our greater place value, is here, and our leaf is in this section here. And this right here, boys and girls, is very important because without reading this, you're going to make a big mistake. So when I look at my stem and leaf without looking at my key, I think I'm recording whole numbers, 32, 32, 35, 38, but that's not the case. Let's look at the key. The key, the left side is your stem. The right side of the vertical line is your leaf. So when we see 5, 6, it actually means 5 6/10 of a pound. So these numbers up here are decimals. These are decimal numbers. Okay, so just want to make sure that you always, I haven't pointed that out yet this week, so please make sure you always look for your key to see if you're doing whole numbers, decimals, or fractions, all right? So we're going to use the data from our stem and leaf plot to answer each of our questions. Our first question is, what is the combined weight of the boxes that each weigh at least 6 5/10 of a pound? So I want you to make sure you have your paper and pencil. Pause your video, make sure you have your paper and pencil, and then come back and join me, please. All right, I'm going to use this problem-solving mat to, let's see, we're going to take it in steps. We're going to break it down, okay? So the first thing we need to know is, what do we need to find? We've read the question, so what do we need to find? We need to find the combined means to put together, the combined weight of the boxes that weigh at least 6 5/10. So anything less than that, we're not going to put into our plan. So only things that weigh 6 5/10 of a pound or greater. So what do we need to find? We need to find the combined weight of, all boxes that are at least 6 5/10 pounds. Okay? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a sentence or a solution sentence over here. The combined weight is blank pounds. Okay? Now, what information are we given? Well, we're given that we need at least 6.5. All boxes that weigh 6 5/10 or more. And we're going to combine, which means to do what? We're going to add. So what's our plan? Well, first of all, we need to look at our stem and leaf plot, and we are going to add all the books or the boxes that weigh greater than or equal to, greater or equal to 6 5/10. That's what that line right there means. All right, so all the boxes that weigh 6 5/10 of a pound or more. So let's get our stem and leaf plot, and let's find the leaf or the stem that has 6, because we know we're looking for at least 6 5/10 pound. All right, we have 1/10, 6 1/10. Is that at least 6 5/10? Nope. So we are only going to highlight 6 6/10, 6 6/10, 6 9/10. 7 is at least 6 5/10. And so we're going to add these 3 leaves as well. So those are all the temperatures that are, or I'm sorry, not temperatures, the weight of the boxes that weigh at least 6 5/10 pounds. Okay, pause this video, and I want you to add up all of these decimal numbers together to see what your total is. And when you're finished, come back. All right, so hopefully you showed your work. And what I did, I don't like to add 6 different numbers at one time. So I know that you guys can add at least 3. So I added the books or the boxes that were 6 6/10, 6 6/10, 6 9/10, and I got a total of 20 1/10 pounds. There's our label. And then I added the other 3 boxes, 7 0/10, 7 3/10, 7 8/10, and I got a total of 22 1/10 pounds. And then I added these 2 together to get a total of 42 2/10 pounds. And then I can go back up here to my solution sentence and record my answer. So that was more than one step. All right, let's set that aside and let's look at our next question. The next question wants to know how much heavier in pounds is the heaviest box than the lightest. How much heavier is the heaviest box than, there's the word than. So what does that mean we're doing? We're comparing, and when we're comparing, what operation are we doing? Okay, so we're going to put that in our plan over here. What do we need to find? We're going to find the difference between the heaviest and the lightest box. Okay? I'm going to fill out my plan and I'll be right back. And you guys do the same. Pause your video. All right, so hopefully you have your plan created. Now let's go and look at what is our heaviest box. So I'm going to go to the stem that is the greatest, which is the 7. And I'm going to find the leaf that is the greatest, which is 8. And then I'm going to find the stem that is the least or the lightest. Oopsie, that's supposed to be green. And I'm going to highlight, no, that's supposed to be yellow. And this is supposed to be green. And this is supposed to be green. There we go. So our heaviest box is 7 8/10, and our lightest box was 3 2/10. So my plan is to subtract, which means to find the difference. So I have it all set up, ready to solve and justify my answer. 8/10 minus 2/10 is 6/10. 7 ones minus 3 ones is 4 ones, and we can justify this by doing our inverse operation. I'm going to add these 2 numbers back together. 6/10 and 2/10 is 8/10. Bring down my decimal. 3 plus 4 ones is 7. So we have a checkmate. So the difference is 7 8/10, and we would put that into our solution sentence. All right, last question, number 3. Let's read it and then get your paper pencil and see if you can solve it. Each box weighing 5 2/10 pounds holds exactly 28 books. So 5 2/10 pounds, every one of those boxes holds exactly 28 books. So I know that I have 2 boxes that weigh at least 5 2/10 pounds. Each of those books is going to cost $14. So every single book that is in each of those boxes is going to be $14. How much money can the bookstore earn by selling each of the books in 5 2/10 pounds boxes? All right, I'm going to pause the video, give you some time to solve this on paper and pencil. Again, we have 2 boxes that weigh 5 2/10 pounds. In each box, remember each means 1 box, so each of those boxes has exactly 28 books. And we know that they're going to sell each of those books for $14. So this is going to be more than one step. First of all, we need to figure out how many books we have before we can figure out how much money they can earn. Okay, we're going to pause the video and let you solve it. All right, so this one was very involved. We had to do several things. So what did we need to find? We need to find out how much money they will make selling all the books that are in the boxes that weigh 5 2/10 pounds. But we don't know how many books they have, so we have to look at our stem and leaf to figure out how many boxes weigh 5 2/10 pounds. And we did that. We see that there are 2 boxes that weigh 5 2/10 pounds. And we know that each of those boxes has 28 books each. And then they're going to sell those books for $14 each. So that's the information we're given. Now my plan is I need to figure out how many books I have. And in order to do that, I'm going to add 28 books. Let's change that. 28. So we had 2 boxes. They each had 28 books. So we have a total of 56 books in both boxes. And so now I'm going to take my total books and multiply it times 14 because each book is going to be sold for $14. So I just quickly made a 2x2 area model. That's a 10, that's a 4, and then 56. And I multiplied 50 times 10, 6 times 10, 50 times 4, and 6 times 4. And when I add up all my partial products, I have a total of $784 total dollars for all books that were in the 2 boxes that weighed at least 5 2/10 pounds. Okay, you are ready for your quiz tomorrow. Now go watch Miss Gregoni's video, okay?